Okay, we're down here with Bo. And Bo, I'm going to flip this around. You can show us what we're doing here. We're prepping some panels.
We got the panel upside down on our workbench, and we are
All right, so
mounting.
this is the back side.
Yeah,
Kind of cool to see the bifacial side. It's like, that looks like the top.
it's pretty neat.
These ones are fun too. I like how you can like see through the actual panel
It'll look
itself.
cool.
So
Yeah,
All the like different shades on the
it's almost iridescent.
so
yeah, I'd like it. All right, sorry, go ahead.
But here we're mounting the upper swing arm to the panel with our 1/4 bolts. So one thing that's very important when we do this, as I've done before, is we really want to make some type of backing panel. You could get a sheet of plywood, you could even use some thick Kydex or whatever plastic material you have. But using a hardened bit on glass, it's a 10 of 10, you will break it if you hit it with that drill bit.
How do we know that?
Because we've done it. Unfortunately, the other day.
haven't you done it, Ken?
I have yet to break a panel yet, but
So whenever we're setting these upper swing arms, which you can see I already have one bolt here holding it in place, we want to make sure that we have it flush to the outside of the panel that's going to be on the outside of the rig. So we have this adjustment here on the inside of the racking system here. So it's pretty simple. All you're wanting to do is make sure your backing plate goes all the way under, and you want to go ahead and visually inspect that as well, because you don't want to destroy your brand new panel. And one thing on these swing arms being kind of a thinner gauge aluminum here is they do get some bend to them. So if you mount from one point to the other point, sometimes you'll see a little bit of flex in here. So what we like
yeah.
to do is start at one side and work our way down to keep it even so we don't get a bend in the material.
So a little clarification on that here. That bend, as we've worked with our fabricator, this is like they can't get that out. They've finessed it as best they can.
Right.
But in essence, they have that little bit of flex, and they suspect it's from when the sheets are all rolled out, the way they've cut it out.
Right.
Anyway, so
What's the memory in the fiber
yeah,
itself?
there you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's pretty simple. Once we get the bolts in there, as we correct it, it strains it out, and there's no issues beyond that. So I'm gonna flip this back around. Okay. So
Now
go ahead
we'll
and
go here. We'll see where we're at with this bend. Make sure it's even going all the way down. As you can see it there.
and this is actually kind of important too. If you bring this too far over, then it makes it hard to adjust it. You're maxing out the upper the what do you call it, the saddle brackets up there. We have a little bit of adjustment that's allowed in those, and it really maxes those out if this is too far in. And if you go too far the other direction, then the washers don't line up well on the bottom side there. So because of that inner wall. But anyway, so go ahead and let's give them a show here. So right as it pops through.
It's very simple. You don't have to put any pressure at all. Just let the bit do the work.
And you also gotta be careful, like because as you do this, you get these little bits of grains of the aluminum on the actual panel. So you just gotta make sure, like if you're moving this stuff around, you want to pick it up and drop it down instead of sliding around. It'll scratch up the glass. But we put a little washer on that 1/4 and bolt. Put it on top. Simple as it, right there.
That's it.
Then we put the little wrench on the back side. And there it is. So you kind of repeat that process, kind of strain it out as you go.
Yep.
And then when you see it kind of flexes. Yep. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Bo.
Alrighty, y'all have a good one.
Okay, we're now getting the next panel up and going. These are 60 pounds a pop. It's nice to have two pairs of hands to get that moving. All right, great. And what's the first step as we go through and prep these guys?
So for these, we're going to grab the parts we need. We're going to be building a full panel. Other things, so we're going to need 2 of these stainless steel guys right here.
So these are the stainless steel solar panel support brackets.
Right here.
Nice.
So we've got these 2. And you want to put these in first.
Why is that?
because Otherwise, these edges right here on this bracket, they slide under the panel. You'll see right here. So they slide under like this. And when you put in the other, the upper control arms, when you bolt it through here, the bolts won't let this slide in.
Binds on it,
And
right?
so, yeah, as you get to right here, it'll bind up and you can't get them in. So we put these on very first, and you want to make sure they're centered. And on these ones, actually...
So if you're saying if this is shoved all the way to one side,
Yep, so that's flat, but
and
then you
no
can
longer,
move
it can't, yeah, there you go.
it. So they move like that.
Like about halfway so that we don't have that, allows it to flex, right?
And on this one, I like these panels. This is exactly centered on these panels. So usually you can line it up right there.
Oh,
and
nice.
That'll be halfway on both sides.
Great. And then then you have to just decide, put the hole through that. Those, it already has the holes on it. The newer panels now have two, depending on the, we made a new panel which accommodates for more solar panel sidewalls. So these will have a double sidewall inside of them, and this panel only works with a select number of those panels, but we've modified this bracket so that it would be accommodated for more panels with different frames here. So those newer ones will have two holes, and then you pick the one that has the full coverage on the aluminum there. So, all right, cool, awesome.
And yeah, do you want to keep going through everything?
Yeah, if you don't mind, we can get these guys drilled out,
Yep,
and
so-
we'll get into it.
Pretty simple. Another good practice while you're doing this. It's okay to set your tools on top of the panel, but like things like drills, set them on their sides because that's not going to fall over. If you set it up like this, it will fall and break the panel.
Yeah, that is hasn't quite been a problem for us yet, but we saw that, we're like, that could be bad real quick.
And that is the backer, as we showed in the other video.
So this is just a little bit of foam taped to a piece of aluminum.
You can use whatever you want. You just don't want to drill through and hit the panel.
Yeah, hitting panels, that's a bad moment.
But it's not a race. Don't worry about it. Let the bit do its work. You don't need to push super hard.
Just let it pop through.
Yep. And then
The
you've got
stainless
a nice little
steel
hole
too, it'll grab if the drill grabs that stainless steel, it'll want to punch harder, so you gotta be careful with that. But just let it, once it punches, you don't want it to push through on
there.
that.
Simple
So
washer on the back, washer on the front, and the nut. And you want to bolt this down first, and then drill your other hole, because sometimes when you're drilling this one, it'll pull the stainless steel, and then you'll have two offset holes, and that doesn't work very well.
got it. Okay. So we got these guys working both sides of this at the same time.
A friend is nice, especially when you put these on the roof.
Yes, these you do not want to place these. Do not want to place these on your own. That's for sure. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Yep.